Alright, what's up y'all, it's LakerFan here. In today's video, as you see by the title, I'm giving you guys a list of a couple really good defensive builds. Now obviously there's only like 4 in the game, because if we're talking the archetypes, it literally gives you pure defender, play defender, sharp defender, and finisher defender. Now I'm depicting which of which are best and which ones fit the park the most, and I guess Pro-Am as well. I'll give a couple little details as far as that, but I wanted to get this vid out just because I feel like I am a solid person to give some insight on this, and I was gonna just break down some of the badge points. Now we'll get into this stuff in a little bit, but regardless, I want to get this video out because I know it's around holiday season where people are gonna be getting gifts, they're gonna be, you know, getting the game and stuff, as well as also I know the big wave of like my pure lock has been going around on YouTube as well. So listen, I just wanted to put this video out. I thought it'd be a good one to do as well. But anyway, as you can see, I'm playing around with the defensive attributes. We'll get back to that in a sec, like I said. Now, this right here is the two-way sharp. You're gonna see, put that that 31 post moves is clutch because it's that 1 extra badge point for like 2 ratings. Now, you can drop your post fade by 2. So do that as well, and you'll see you know, don't lose a badge either. Now this is where things get tight, and I've already gone through this like multiple times by this point in the video, so just know that I've already depicted everything that I think is the best way to do things. Now you're gonna see I'm just playing with the finishing badges a little bit, showing you that, you know, close shot actually means quite a bit. Now here's the problem. All right, and I'm gonna pause it right here on the clip now. And you see I'm playing around with the badge points as well. We'll explain it as we go through here. So like the block rating, right? If you do blocking into your defense, you have 17 defensive badges. If you do block and D-board, you have 17 badges. Now I'm over here playing around with it just a little bit. I mean, if you want 16, you can deal with it. But as you see, if you max the defensive rebound, it gives you 19 defensive badges instead of the 16 that you would get from doing something else. Now that's up to you to decide if you want blocking into your defense. That's a tough one, and in my opinion, what you should probably do is just make sure you get the block pretty decently high. Now what you also can do, as you can see, is, and I think this is the perfect way to do it, build it exactly like this. Just drop your shooting just a little bit more to 17, and then you get 18 defense while still being able to do block and into your defense. In my opinion, it's worth the 1 badge drop for not having defensive rebound, because as a guard, I think you're just gonna want to have into your defense and block more than rebounding. That's my opinion, because you may have a guard drive against you and you have to deal with it. Now this is a very all-around build right here, how I've built it. If you don't want a specific thing, and I'll get into that in a sec as well, if you don't want a specific thing like driving, as you can see, I'm gonna turn down everything except driving dunk, because you're gonna want that maxed at least, where you can have like a really good you can just get good animations on the dunks. And if you take a contested like dunk or layup, that's probably where you're going wrong anyway if you have such low ratings anyway. So in my opinion, I would just probably go with the driving dunk if you were to keep anything upgraded. As you can see, you can still keep the post fade down low, but you get 22 defense, 12 playmaking, 18 shooting this way. Again, I'm just doing this to give you guys some insight. I'm not actually saying, oh, this build's better than this build, yada yada, even though, I mean, to an extent, I guess I am. Now you're gonna see I go with a smaller playmaking variant, or maybe not. Here, I'll just move along with this. But anyway, the whole point of this video is to give you guys insight and see what works best as far as what badges to put on, and what I just think is gonna fit the meta of Park a lot better. So keep in mind, a lot of this is just me showing you the best way to build things, and you can decide your opinions based on what I've given you. I don't think you should ever just be I don't think you should ever just copy what somebody's done and like try to make the best of it. But anyway, now I'm just showing you like what I'm trying to put together with like block maxed and still have good defense, and then still try to get these last few finishing badges as well. So essentially what it comes down to, and you saw it earlier, is you have to have around 16 shooting badges and nothing more, nothing less, unless you really just don't want the playmaking. But in my opinion, that's kind of the perk of being a point guard. As I forgot to mention that too, with this build, you're most certainly going to want to make it a point guard. Now right here I'm playing with the height. I'll explain this real quick, then I'll get back to the point guard topic. But being 6'5" is by far the best thing to do. If you go down one height, you literally lose 7 block, a lot of interior defense, a lot of defensive rebound. You can see if you go down 2 height, it's horrible. If you go up 1 height, you literally just gain like maybe 1 interior defense and 1 block. It's pretty bad. But anyway, I would go minimum wingspan. Now this right here, or I would go minimum weight. Minimum wingspan versus max wingspan. This is kind of a hard thing to decide on. I would maybe go somewhere in the middle, because at the end of the day, you are a two-way sharp. It's going to be kind of frustrating if you have 82 steal and 75 block, if it's at the expense of your offense. But then if you go and have, you know, 73 ball control with like 78 3-pointer, you're not going to be enjoying it too much either. So I would say go around middle of the pack right here. You can see you get 81 3-pointer with 85 steal still with that wingspan, so I would go with that. Now this right here is up to preference. I would either go lock or sharp. I don't think playmaker is really the move, depending on who you are. I mean, the point guard I run with has this exact build and let playmaker take over, and I think it was a solid decision. But anyway, so moving along, I'm moving to the number 2 build in my opinion. Now this is the play lock right here. I'm showing you this is what it looks like at shooting guard. You're able to fill in your point guard, and then here it is at shooting guard. Now here's the problem, is that at point guard you get more badges. You get 1 more finishing and 1 more playmaking. As you can see, you drop to 19 and 10 with the exact same way. But at shooting guard you have more ratings to fill in. I don't know, it's a very tough decision right here, but here's what I ended up masterminding a little bit too. Now I'm glad I actually came to this decision. Now what you're gonna see, like I said, I decided to go with the point guard. Now there was a slight adjustment that I had to make to be able to get like premium badges. So with this I would recommend again, go point guard. Now I'm showing the difference between the pure speed and the speed invert pie chart. I would most definitely go with the speed invert, especially for the fact that when you max your player out, you're gonna have the +4 physical boost weekly from the Gatorade facility, as well as whatever you get toward the 99 boost. So, or you know, 96, 97, 98, 99 boost, whatever you want to call it. And at that point, having anything more than about 94-ish speed, 93 speed, is kind of just not really worth it. Now, again, I don't think strength matters all that much with this, but anyway, let me detail this real quick. So I ended up putting standing dunk to 28 and then post moves to 47, and you're able to gain 1 more finishing and 1 more playmaking. So really what it comes down to with this is, again, it's the same discussion where if you want to be great and well-rounded on offense, then you're gonna have to take the hit on interior D. Now, I think this is like by all means the best way to make this build, because with this you're gonna be very versatile. You're gonna have enough ball control to actually be like really good ball handler. And then, as you can see, now I would highly suggest do not go 6'6", whatever you do. You're gonna drop your driving dunk below 85. That's gonna ruin your experience with this build, because you get the contact dunks with 85 driving dunk. And like I said, the ball control being around 86 will make you as good of a dribbler as you need to. And at the end of the day, bro, 6'5" is just the move. Now, as you can see, you don't lose much on the block rating. I guess you don't have the most on defensive rebound or interior defense with this build anyway. But still, I would highly suggest to go 6'5". Nothing more, nothing less. At 6'4", you just lose too much block, too much interior D. Now, if you really just do not care about down low defense and you're making this build for, like, let's say pro-am in a 2-3 that you constantly run, then I can sort of see it, I guess. But anyway, I would probably go low on the weight if you put your interior D pretty low. At some point, it's not even worth it to have the interior D boost if you're just going low anyway. So I'd probably want to get that lateral quickness. And I mean, the acceleration, like I said, once you hit 99, it's not going to matter that you have it as high as it is right here. But what I will say about the speed, having 91 speed is a good threshold. If you have 91 speed, you're getting +4 from the Gatorade boost, so that's 95. And then if you're a 99 overall, that's 99 speed. I mean, that's like the perfect amount. Now, again, playing around with the wingspan here, if you want to have 86 ball control, I would probably suggest that. It's a nice thing to have. But if you want to be a true defender, and like at the end of the day, what this play lock build basically is, it's like a pure lockdown from last year in 2K19. But the reason I say that is because you get 64 3-pointer, which is still solid, as well as you still get 10 shooting badges. So that's huge, because with a pure lockdown, it's a tough thing. This is basically the pure lockdown's brother, if you will, where it's a more well-rounded offensive kind of scorer and like facilitator, as well as still being able to play great defense. Now, this is up to you. I would say, bro, slash takeover, if you want to really enjoy your build, slash takeover is insane what it can do. And it's pretty easy to just get dunks and stuff too. So no matter what build you make with this play lock, pure lock, or the slash lock, I would definitely say go slash or takeover. Now, again, with this build, I'm suggesting to go point guard. This is the pure lockdown. I actually have this build myself, and I love it, bro. Now, I use it in a very different manner than most of you watching probably would, but I will say this. Go watch my other videos with this build on the 1v1 court, and you will see this build is insane as far as like how you use it. And check out how I use it in the 3v3 as well. So now I'm just showing if you don't got to go too crazy on the rebound if you don't want to. Me personally, I maxed everything defensively, and I took a little bit of hit on my now right here I'm just showing the shooting, but I took a little bit of hit on my slashing just to get max defense because I wanted O board and D board all the way up, because I actually use this exact player. I use a 6'5" pure lock as a screen setter and rebounder in the 3v3 and 2v2. Now, you might think I'm crazy, but you gotta watch the videos to see it, and I can't wait to hop on this build more. I'm getting super close to maxing its defensive badges. And then I've had a lot of people asking me to make methods for my badge grind. I'll just let you guys know this. Rec is a very good way of getting them. You can see right here I'm dropping my post hook and my post moves down a little bit to the point where I don't lose the badge, but still like have it upgraded. So then boom, you can just put it in the D board. I mean, depending on how you use this build, I feel like you are going to be forced. This is why I have it lower on the list, because it's tough to shoot with this build, even with everything maxed and having the 3. The problem is you only get 3 badges. So what I would say with this build, you either got to be an ISO scorer as a slasher, or you got to be a screen setter essentially on offense. Now, it's not to say you have to play defensive big man. So maybe if you decide that, you can just go O board max instead of D board, because what you could do is guard ball on defense and then set screens on offense. And trust me, this build is still legit with finishing. It's so good. And not to mention, if you build it like I just did right here, where you lack one of the rebounding categories, you can have like crazy finishing ability. It's pretty wild. But again, I would go 6'5". Again, nothing more, nothing less. 6'5" is definitely the go-to height for any guard in the game this year. You can see the driving dunk is so much better. Now, what I did, I went 199 on my weight, because you don't lose any excel. Matter of fact, you actually gain an acceleration. So anyway, you can see, boom, or you gain 1 strength. I'm sorry. But anyway, moving along, I would go max wingspan. I made my player 1 tick down from the max just to have 73 ball control. It was some mastermind stuff I was thinking of. Like, for instance, at 73 ball control, if I'm playing with somebody that has gold floor general, I would have 86 ball control, and then with takeover activated, I would have 76 ball control with the floor general activated. Then with takeover on, I'd have 86, which means I can momentum cross. It's just some stuff that really doesn't mean much. Even at this, you could still play with somebody with Hall of Fame floor general if you're really concerned about that. But I would definitely go slash takeover. I think undoubtedly it's so much more effective than the lock takeover. And you could truly be a focal point of the offense when that activates. And it's an insane thing, bro. You guys got to check out the vids. But anyway, moving along, this is the last one that I have right here. It's the slash lock. Now, the thing about this, I will say, the shooting rating is still pretty bad, but you can actually get 6 badges with this. Now, that is very impactful, because with 3, all you can really do is get quick draw. I would definitely recommend at least have silver quick draw no matter what you're doing as a shooter or like a spot up. Now, to have 6 is pretty important, because then you could go like bronze catch and shoot, bronze hot zone hunter, bronze corner specialist, and then still get silver quick draw, and then maybe get like one more thing like I don't think green machine would be the best thing to do for like a lockdown like this, especially considering you're not going to really be able to hit 2 in a row, at least in my opinion. But anyway, regardless, having 6 shooting badges is actually pretty premium. Now, you're going to see I'm building this out a little bit to where you can still have 25 defensive badges and Hall of Fame defensive badges. And this is basically the same thing as a pure lock. It's just a little bit worse of defense. Like, the defense isn't quite as extreme, but you do get Hall of Fame finishing badges too, so that is a nice selling point. Now again, I'd probably go speed invert pie chart on the physical, just because again, you don't need much more than 90 speed and to go pure speed. Now if you want to go with a strength pie chart, that's on you. I just don't think as a guard you're ever going to really need that. Now you're seeing I'm filling this out a little bit to where I'm trying to just get the defense maxed while still having maxed finishing. In my opinion, you're going to have to take a hit on something, and it's probably going to be defense, where you just drop your O board. So you end up with 23, and I think I dropped my D board by 1. But anyway, and then you can still end up with 12 playmaking and still drop your post hook a little bit. Now, the ironic thing is, if you want to be able to get your 3-pointer up, you can still max it. You can still max it at 52. You just can't get badges for it. So now what I will say is, and you're going to see I take away some stuff. I think I take away some stuff. Yeah, so you take away the playmaking, and you're actually going to have to take the ball control down all the way too. This is the tough thing about this build. You got to make the decision of whether you want to still be an elite finisher and an elite shooter, or an elite defender, or if you want to be able to just do all of this stuff have a solid shooting ability with 52 3-point rating and 6 badges, but you have no playmaking. You take a little bit of hit on the defense and then a decent hit on the finishing and then a huge hit on the playmaking. Like, you can't even, I mean, it totally takes away from why you'd even make your build a slasher, because you're gonna want the ball in your hands to be slashing. At least that's my opinion. But anyway, it's too hard to balance this build, so that's why I would say I just wouldn't really go with, I mean, maybe if you don't want to do post hook or standing dunk, that's on you, and you could just decrease the amount of shooting badges you have, get some playmaking, as in like the ball handling, just so you could have the ball in your hand, and maybe just don't touch pass accuracy. But anyway, in my opinion, the best way to do this is the exact way of approaching that you would the pure lock, where you're just gonna go playmaking, finishing, and defending, and surround yourself with shooters. And you could still set screens, you could still ISO with this build. It's just a little bit more of a, and like I said, I would probably just go to the point where you can get the 12 playmaking and then max your 3-pointer, just because it's not a good idea to not have any 3-pointer, especially when you're not like me, for instance, where, you know, you just can constantly play with anybody and they're not gonna second guess you as a 6'5" dude who can't shoot. But anyway, again, I would probably go 6'5". There's really no debate to that. I go minimum weight just for the lateral quickness. Again, the interior defense isn't really that big a deal. Anyway, moving along. And then I end up going 178, because you actually, okay, my bad. Let me go back for those who actually care. You gain 1 strength while not losing anything by going 178, so just keep that in mind. I would probably go max wingspan, because again, I don't think it's that big a deal to the point where you would want to take a defensive hit just to get your ball control and shooting ratings up, and I think you only get a difference of 3 shooting ratings anyway. But obviously go slash takeover, simple as that. Now that's all for the video. I hope y'all enjoyed. If you did, feel free to drop a like, sub if you knew, all that good stuff. But like I said, definitely go check out the other content if you're new to the channel. Now, yo, for anybody who's still watching, drop a comment and say lockdown in the comments if you made it to the end of the video. And also, for a like goal, I know it's a bad idea to do this at the very end of the video because not as many people are watching, but yo, if we can hit like 500 likes on this video, that'd be big time. But hey, appreciate y'all watching. I know it's a little helpful for all the people who, you know, saw the lockdown vids and they're thinking they want to make the build. Now, I just wanted to give you guys a couple different options if you were inspired by that. And also, like I said, anybody who's searching up like best lockdown builds to make, you know, when Christmas time rolls around, or just the fact that they're getting the game later, or a new build that they want to make, all that stuff combined. So I just wanted to get this video out. But anyway, like I said, hope y'all enjoyed. If you did, feel free to drop a like, sub if you're new, all that good stuff. Turn on them noties, and like I said, let's hit 500 likes on this vid. Appreciate that. But anyway, other than that, hope y'all enjoyed. Take it easy, man. Peace.